Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we're tackling what is literally the ultimate high-stakes challenge in the world of Advanced Therapy Medicinal Products, or ATMPs. If you've been following the incredibly complex manufacturing of these groundbreaking treatments, you already know the science is nothing short of miraculous. But today, we're focusing squarely on Module 5, Aseptic Processing and Sterility Assurance. This is exactly where the science meets an uncompromising reality.
So how exactly do you guarantee the sterility of a medicine when the medicine itself is a living cell? Right? It kind of sounds like a paradox, doesn't it? This single question really establishes the immediate, dramatic tension of everything we're about to discuss today.
Okay, let's dive right into this. For decades, traditional medicines relied on terminal sterilization. You compound the drug, seal it up, blast it with an autoclave or radiation, and boom, problem solved. But ATMPs, they're alive. Living cells absolutely cannot survive autoclaving, and if you irradiate them, well, you destroy the medicine. Because of this, a single microscopic microbe introduced at literally any point can completely destroy the entire batch. So in this field, there are 0 second chances, period.
To solve this, we've got to build a real blueprint for sterility assurance. Here's our agenda for today. 1. 0 second chances. 2. The CCS Fortress. 3. Closed processing. 4. The human variable. 5. Media fills. And 6. The race against time.
All right, starting off with Section 1, 0 second chances, looking at the EU GMP Annex 1 mandate.
When dealing with non-sterilizable ATMPs, sterility absolutely cannot be an afterthought. It has to be built in from the very first step all the way to the last. I really want to emphasize that 0 second chances idea here. There's no final magical step to fix a contamination event that happened earlier on. Every single aseptic control along the way is absolutely crucial for the product's survival.
Moving right along to Section 2, the CCS Fortress, a holistic defense.
So, knowing that every step matters, we have to rely on an overarching strategy. We can't just hope for the best with random acts of cleanliness. The crucial point here is that we use a contamination control strategy, or CCS. Think of it as a documented, holistic set of controls that spans the whole facility, the utilities, equipment, the people, and the process itself. You're essentially building sterility assurance through a powerful combination of controls, all driven by strict quality risk management. One single measure just isn't going to cut it alone.
And this fortress of ours has to be tough enough to fend off a pretty diverse army of intruders. We're fighting off microbial contamination, particulate matter, and endotoxins, which are those pyrogenic bacterial components. Plus, because ATMPs use living, cell-based products, our CCS requires super-specific vigilance against unique, sneaky threats like mycoplasma and adventitious viruses.
Next up, Section 3, the shield of closed processing, which is our strongest defense.
If the CCS is the overarching strategy, closed processing is our strongest physical tactic. The mechanics here are actually brilliant in their simplicity. Step 1. Keep the product completely closed throughout the process using single-use assemblies. Step 2. When you absolutely have to transfer materials, you maintain that closure using sterile tube welding and aseptic connectors. Actually, if you maintain perfect closure, you can sometimes even justify working in a lower-grade background environment. But Step 3. If you have those rare, unavoidable open steps, they must immediately be treated as high-grade aseptic operations performed in Grade A conditions. If a closed system breaches, your sterile claim is instantly gone. No exceptions.
To maintain that perfect closure, modern ATMP processing leans heavily on automated closed platforms. Why? Well, because automation drastically reduces operator interventions. And reducing human intervention perfectly sets up our next major vulnerability.
Which brings us to Section 4, the human variable and first air, also known as the bodyguards. There's a pretty deep irony in aseptic processing. The highly trained, super dedicated people trying to save the patient are actually the biggest threat to the medicine itself. Let's be totally blunt here. Human operators are the single greatest source of microbial contamination. We shed particles and microbes constantly. To mitigate this, operators literally have to act like disciplined bodyguards. We're talking intense behavioral discipline, specialized grade-appropriate gowning, strict requalification, and tightly restricted access to processing areas.
And this perfectly illustrates the most vital behavioral rule for these bodyguards. Never, ever compromise first air. First air is that unobstructed, HEPA-filtered air that washes directly over the exposed product and critical surfaces. The absolute golden rule of aseptic technique is that an operator must never put their hands or any object between the HEPA filter and the open product. If you obstruct first air, you're risking sweeping contamination right into the medicine. It's a huge deal.
Okay, moving to Section 5, the drill. We're talking media fills and aseptic process simulation. So, we've got our strategy, our closed processing, and our disciplined bodyguards. But how do we actually prove the Fortress works before risking a real patient's life-saving medicine? Well, we run a drill. This is called an aseptic process simulation, or commonly a media fill. To challenge our process honestly, we take the real living product out and substitute it with a microbiological growth medium. We mimic the exact small-scale operations of the ATMP. We perform all the standard steps and deliberately throw in the worst-case interventions just to see if the process holds up. Now, an easy simulation is completely useless because it just gives you false confidence. These simulations have to push the processing system to its absolute worst-case limits to mean anything. And the expectation is uncompromising: 0 contaminated units. Any microbial growth whatsoever triggers an immediate, rigorous investigation to figure out exactly where the Fortress was breached.
Finally, we arrive at Section 6, the race against time, beating short shelf life.
Once the process is proven, we enter the final super high-pressure sequence of manufacturing in ATMP. This is where the strict necessity of regulatory testing violently collides with the reality of critically ill patients. 14. That's the number of days required to complete a traditional pharmacopoeial sterility culture test. But here's the devastating reality. A living ATMP product might have a shelf life of just 48 hours before those cells expire and die. Obviously, you can't wait 14 days for a test result when the medicine itself will be dead in 2.
Now, what's really interesting about how we bridge this impossible gap is that the industry moves away from slow traditional cultures and instead implements rapid microbiological methods, or RMM. These are highly validated, really sophisticated methods that yield microbial results exponentially faster. This allows the manufacturing team to support a timely release, saving the patient's life while still completely satisfying those strict regulatory safety demands. This rapid testing is absolutely critical when managing a batch of one. You know, those autologous batches made from the patient's own cells. In a batch of one, failure means no medicine for that specific patient, period. Managing this kind of pressure requires principled, predefined release strategies. It demands incredibly rapid out-of-specification investigations and clear procedures for handling any pending culture results that might finish post-administration. Ultimately, a qualified person or quality unit must have the full, timely picture to make that final life-or-death release call.
Let's move to how this all builds into the core philosophy of everything we've discussed today. Sterility is delivered by the process and confirmed by testing, never the reverse. It's a great quote because you simply cannot test quality into a product, especially in ATMP. The test is really just a final check. The actual sterility has to be meticulously built in by the contamination control strategy, closed processing, and flawless aseptic technique.
So we've seen the blueprint, we've explored the fortress, the shield, and the rapid methods that bridge those impossible timelines. But it all really comes down to the execution on the floor. So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to ponder. When the clock is ticking on a batch of one and a real patient's life is on the line, how will you defend its sterility? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.